Oh, yes. Oh, yes, community. Up all that. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look at who we have here. Who do we have up here? Kevin, what's going on with you? Al Drum. What's going on with you? Oh, well, hi. Whoops. All right, man. Look, first, I want to say this. It's Monday, baby. Look, we're in August. We are in August, meaning this is the month of the biggest fight of the year. No cap. No, this is it. We're a couple days away from the biggest fight of the year. I mean, it's huge. Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the True Spence. That is humongous. And it means so much. If you love boxing, if you love the legacy, the culture, all those things, you got a passing of the torch fight. You got a big, huge, menacing Terminator of a fighter. George, thank you so much for the super sticker. Against this old, undersized legend, right? One last time, can he do it? This is 300. This is the 300. This is Leonidas versus the Persians. Like, this is it, right? Errol Spence got everything. But Manny Pacquiao, he has something else. That thing that makes you an icon, makes you a magician, makes you legendary. That thing. Every fighter got 2 arms, 2 legs. Every fighter trains extremely hard. Well, most trains extremely hard. They all had dreams of being the greatest ever. All have dreams of being great champions. All those things. But that thing that put Manny Pacquiao over the greats, over the likes of Archie Moore, over the likes of Ezra Charles and Benny Leonard, over some of the greatest Joe Gans, some of the greatest fighters you can ever think of. Manny Pacquiao is ranked above these guys. Is because of that thing. That thing, right? And that thing that glows like some kind of raging fire is starting to dim. And the thing is it out? We'll see. We'll see. August 21st, one hell of a fight. Yo, this is magnificent. Magnificent. Love the legacy, ShowBizz, the 300, 100%. Jake getting done, bro. Stop, Jake. Yeah, I got Tyron Woodley busting him up. That's poetic, but it's true, right? You got this guy, this icon that shines brighter than the sun. And Errol Spence trying to turn that light out. Man. And I'm talking about turn his lights out. Right? That's the only way he can do it. We'll talk about Errol the True Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. We'll talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. And you guys saw the title. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Tyson Gypsy King Fury. He has a tweet. Maybe I can share it. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. Talking about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. I think it's hilarious. Maybe I can just show it on my phone and not go through the whole thing. We'll talk about that. But first, I was in the city. If many of you are from where I'm from, we call it the city. You know what I'm saying? And that's the black, 2 sugars. Yeah, everybody, please hit the like button. It's Monday. We're going to start off our mornings right. Sorry for being a little late sometimes, but I'm doing my best. I was in the city to meet up with some people I know, meet up with some people I don't. Okay, I love meeting new people. I would love to meet you guys one day. And we're making plans. Me and BUSR.com. Go to BUSR.com/ShowBizz. Place to bill your favorite fights. BUSR.com are trying to come up with a way to have us meet each other face to face. Biz, you gotta serenade your wife to Outstanding by the Gap Band. We love it's so funny. You are You are something else. That's my wife's one of her favorite songs ever. Dude, go ahead, boy. Girl, you knock me out. You would do it. Girl, you knock me out. She gonna be like, boxing again. So I'm in the city. I'm walking about in the city. Meeting some friends that I know, meeting some people I don't. Okay. I parked my car. Hold on real quick. More Darth Vader versus old Obi-Wan, still epic. Yeah, still epic. You got that right. I love that analogy. And I parked somewhere where, you know, the parking is here, but actually where I got to go is down here. So I'm walking around. I'm only like 2 minutes away from where I got to be. Okay. And I'm cute. I'm thinking I'm cute. I got a polo, a Lacoste polo. Nice and iron. Got some shorts. Got some Yeezys on. I'm looking good. I'm walking around looking for the spot. This block. Take a left this block. The sun is beaming down. Listen, community. Sun is beaming down. A guy like me, I have a lot of energy. I sweat easily. Looking for... Where is it? I finally see some people way down there. Oh, that must be it. I go walking down. My collar is starting to roll. Yeah! My collar is bending, starting to roll. By the time I got there, I had a thin roll, perfect circle. It wasn't a collar anymore. It was a crew neck, a bacon collared turtle. It was a turtleneck. I had a turtleneck, sweating. My sweat rings look like a two-tone shirt, just sweating across the chest. I finally get there, and I go, "I'm ShowBizz. How are you?" and you, and you, sir, bro. I am sweating. I look horrific. Shirt curled up, wrinkled up at the bottom. I'm looking bad. And the funny thing, the beautiful thing is, you know, when you're looking bad, or you got a booger in your nose, or you got a limp ball in your hair, or whatever, you bump into people that wouldn't tell you. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You got people say, "Hey, how you? I go in for a hug. You good? How you doing?" And I'm looking at them, trying not to look at my sweat rings. How you doing? Oh, yes. So look, let me get some water, room temperature. Spence is going to dominate Pac-Man. We got to talk about that. But first, Kurt Angle. I was looking bad. Get to the point. So, my man, get to the point. I'm sorry. I apologize. Everybody else bring the light in. Oh, let's talk about look at this guy. Look at this guy. Get to the point. I'm an asshole. Like, get to the point. I'm an asshole. All right. Yeah. The Chicago's a little hot right now. So let's go to hold on. I'm sorry. Let's go to this Twitter. Here we go. Right here. Listen.
Another morning in the gym. I'm going for the big dosser, the big useless sausage juice maker. The big man who's not off a carrot. The big sausage.
Give him sausage.
Shit house. Another morning.
This is how he's looking. So basically, he's just sitting there cussing out Deontay the Bronze Bomber. And the audio's not clear. Well, he was pretty much saying, calling him a doser, calling him a sausage, calling him a shit house, with all the stuff that he was calling him. Talking junk about Deontay Wilder. And I'm going to tell you what this is. Hit Tyson Bell. I'm going to tell you what this is. And I've been bringing this fight up pretty often. Rumble in the Jungle. If you guys remember, they went to Zaire. George Foreman and Muhammad Ali went to Zaire. And George Foreman, during training camp, before the original date of the fight, he gets a cut. Huh? He gets a cut. They got to move the fight out. 6 weeks? 4 or 6 weeks? How long was it, community? They got to push the fight out for weeks. Right? They don't know. Should they call the fight? Don King was the promoter for the fight. Should they call the fight? What should they do? Should they send everybody home? What should they do? That's when Ali started going Ali Boombaye, when he started to rally the people around him. Made the fight even bigger. Ali did his job. Made Zaire a home crowd. What I'm saying is this. This is an opportunity for Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder to make the fight bigger than it originally was. Now that they pushed the fight out, it's time to start talking. And I'm talking about on social media. Ali Boombaye was in Zaire. Social media is a world platform. I mean, nothing's bigger. And the world has gotten smaller due to social media. Tyson Gypsy King Fury is doing the right thing. You big sausage. You big sausage. Deontay Wilder. Bomb squad! The silent treatment was cute. But now Wilder can be kind of seen as the good guy. He was definitely the bad guy, horrible guy, making all the excuses. Tyson Fury said then, you're making all the excuses. Time for Deontay Wilder to start talking. Coming out of the dark, start talking, okay? Make this fight bigger. You got an opportunity now to make this fight humongous. You guys got to fight each other anyway, right? The silent treatment I thought was a good idea because if he was going to get probed with questions about his excuses, I think Deontay Wilder would have fallen apart. I don't think he had a good grasp on his excuses anyway. And there were too many of them, all right? It made him look weak. It was good that he did the silent thing. But I'm saying from here on out, now that Tyson Fury is Tyson Fury who had the fake COVID, I think now it's time for Deontay Wilder to call him scared, start talking, start pumping this fight, make this fight big. You got to make the fight big. I know the fight is about blood, but not just about blood. It's also about recognition. It's also about getting paid. Hit the Tyson bell. Let me see what we got. Tank not fighting at 147. Yeah, I heard about that whole thing. Like a month. ShowBizz, the working man savior. Thank you so much. Bombs, a great point. Excellent. Yeah, it's an excellent point. Combe versus Loma. Yeah, I've heard about that. But let's stay on track a little bit. Let's stay on track. We're not just let's stay on track a little bit. Let's at least get to the title, why people are here. So let's talk about the title now. Canelo Alvarez. Please don't do to Bivol what Floyd Mayweather did to you. Oh, I hope, Cap 19, I hope this doesn't take the rest of the podcast, and it may just. And that's the Black Two Sugars. Canelo, I said something last week. I said there are certain fighters I just don't question anymore. I mentioned Canelo. I don't think Lomachenko is another one. Terrence Bud Crawford, Errol the True Spence, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. There are guys I just don't question, okay? They just give us too much. I'm starting to look at other guys so they can step their game up. Everybody else, they're just scrapping. They're scrapping too much. I like what they're doing. Anthony A.J. Joshua, fine. It doesn't matter what promoter you have or you're under. It does not matter your skin color. It does not matter your nationality. It does not matter to me, Okay, it doesn't matter if you're a slugger, if you're a boxer, if I like your style, it doesn't matter. If you're out there mixing it up, there are certain people that I just don't question like that. Now here, I'm about to go back on that statement. I'm about to have a question when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, or at least a request. Please don't do to Bivol what Floyd Mayweather did to you. Oh yeah, have you guys heard? Nah, facts, no dehydration clause. I ain't talking about that. That I can understand. I can actually understand a rehydration clause. If you guys want to go back and forth on that, we can. I can understand that one actually. But they're talking about there's a chance that Bivol may have to go down to 168 or go to a catch weight of 172. Oh no! Oh no, community! Oh no, community! Oh no! Oh no! Let's go back to Floyd versus Canelo. I always thought Floyd beating Canelo was a great win. I'm going to say that forever. Floyd beating that Canelo is a great win. I don't give a damn, okay? Because it's so funny that we want, I don't know, Terrence Bud Crawford to fight Virgil Ortiz. But if he were to fight Virgil Ortiz and he's too wet behind the ears, you guys would be complaining. When Floyd fought Canelo, his age made sense. Yeah, he's young, but that's the exact age where people start thinking fighters are ducking. But when the fighter take the fight, all of a sudden you got a problem with it. I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about the age. I'm talking about that catch weight. Hold on, let me read it. How crazy would it be if Tyson Fury walks up to the ring in the same outfit Wilder did in the second fight? That'd be genius. Here's the Tyson bell. That'd be especially if you start bouncing around in it. And then lose miserably. You'd be like, oh, okay. So look, hit the like. Hit the like. Now, it's going to be hard for a lot of you because I think objectively. All right. And we'll talk about the way I think objectively in a minute. But the only problem I had was, look, it wasn't that big of a problem. Canelo Alvarez offered to go down and fight Floyd in the catch weight. I think he messed around and said something like 150, but he couldn't really get down there. I think they fought at 151, 152, something like that. Okay. And Floyd took it. He offered. I wish he wouldn't have, though. I wish Floyd would have fought him at 154, but he didn't. It's cool. Good win for Floyd, especially how he outboxed him. He would have done the same thing at 154. My thing is, I wish he would have done it at 154. Because I've seen Floyd fight at 154. He fought Cotto at 154. He's gone up and he fought Oscar De La Hoya at 154. You can fight at 154. But he took Canelo's offer. Fine. Me being a Floyd fan, I just wish he would have fought at 154 because I knew here comes the asterisks. Canelo's 21. Canelo fought him at a catch weight. Floyd Mayweather always got to have things his way. Hit the Tyson bell. Here comes the asterisks. Canelo, please don't do with Floyd. I know Bivol, just like Canelo, Bivol offered to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. Bivol said that months ago. I come down to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez. Bivol is a little shorter than Caleb Plant. Reach a little shorter than Caleb Plant's. So he probably can do it. Hit the Tyson bell. He's not a huge light heavyweight. But Canelo, don't do it. For your legacy, don't do it. There'll be another asterisk. Everything you do, there's an asterisk. Everything you do, people are going to find a reason. Don't give it to them. Because the truth of the matter is this. I would question it. If Bivol goes down to 168 to fight Canelo, that's a damn shame. Because Canelo, there's no reason to fight him at 168. Tell me what strap he's holding at 168. Catch weight for what? You fought Kovalev at 175. For what? Preparation? You don't want him to weight drain himself like Duran did against Sugar Ray Leonard, that second fight, that No Mas fight. Why do it? For what? It's already 6 weeks out. If you're a Canelo fan, and I'm talking about fanboy, if you love Canelo, you will have to question this one. Canelo, go fight Bivol at 175. Be the warrior and gladiator that you have demonstrated. If there's a rehydration clause, I actually get that because Canelo's a little guy. He's a little guy. No one had a problem with Mikey Garcia moving up to Errol Spence's weight class and asking Errol Spence to that rehydration clause. Errol Spence was bone dry. Hey, all everyone says is, hey, Errol Spence ain't got the power to knock out little Mikey Garcia. Wait a minute. How about the rehydration clause? I don't give a damn. When it comes to Errol Spence, who cares about the rehydration clause? He's Superman. Canelo Alvarez always hit people with a rehydration clause and making them weak. Was Errol weak? No. He's just weak. He can't knock out Mikey Garcia. He can't punch hard enough. Was he dehydrated? No. But there was a rehydration. No. That's the thing about me. I have an objective way of thinking. I can go across the board. I did not have a problem with Mikey Garcia jumping up 2-3 damn weight classes to fight Errol the True Spence and hit him with a rehydration clause. I thought that was fair. So if Canelo Alvarez goes up to fight Bivol in short notice, 5 weeks preparation and hit him with rehydration, I get it. I get it. But 168, 172 and shit like, no. 172 for the belt? No. Victor has defeated you. Oh, yes. Why would you shoot him on before throwing him from the play? King T.O. Triple G was at 160 before Canelo. Oh, right. And he's still at 160 waiting on Canelo to save his career. If Triple G wants to fight, go to 168. I thoroughly feel that way. Look at this guy. All about boxing. Did you hear listen, yo, Biz, it was Bivol's idea to go down. He wants to fight to show who he is, but I also want Canelo to take the challenge, Bivol at 175 and take his belt. You must have came in late because I literally slowly laid out the whole, it was Canelo's idea to go down to fight Floyd at a catch weight, but Floyd took it and is still an asterisk. I slowly laid that. There's no way you were here for that. There was no way you were here for that. Boy, there's no way. Frankie Baines, like I said, he dropped the belts at 154 and 160 to Doug Andrade. He cherry picks his opponents all day. Well, does Frankie Baines, does Andrade cherry pick? Let's talk about this for a minute, okay? And I keep doing that. Actually, do we have to do the same thing? Does Andre cherry pick? Tell me the warriors Andre is fighting. Frankie Baines, give me the list of warriors and the risks he's taking for you to give him this huge. He's the guy that Canelo is ducking. Give me the warriors. Give me the long list of warriors that Jamal Charlo is fighting. Like I said before, Canelo's doing his thing. I just need them to start doing their thing. Here's the thing. Right now, Andre's damn near old. Y'all holding on. See, this is another thing. They don't want to fight him. But well, here's another thing. I can think objectively. You know, people hold on to something. I don't know what it is, but it's different for each person. I'm Mexican. Canelo's amazing. I'm black. He's ducked black fighters. Y'all hold on to whatever you hold on. I just don't like him. Or I've been wanting to see Jamal versus Canelo so long, it must be Canelo's fault. Y'all hold on to something in your world. You can't let go of it. Let's think objectively and look around. Look around. Black fighters don't even fight black fighters. hey, lay back. Lay back and wonder. Have you ever seen Floyd fight two black fighters in the same year? Yeah, you saw him fight Chop Corley, and then years passed, and he fights Super Zab Judah, and years passed, and he fights Sugar Shane Mosley, and he fights Berto, who's Haitian. But think of Floyd. Think of Charlo. Think of Andre. Who are all the black fighters the rest of the black fighters are fighting? I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is this. It's not about black, it's about ranked. There are great fighters all around the world, and you're just fighting the next great guy. You're just fighting the next guy. ShowBizz, a better way of boxing television. 100%. Why does it matter? That's what I'm shutting down. That's what I'm shutting down. It doesn't matter, right? But I'm saying I'm getting rid of the, why does it matter? I'm getting rid of the toilet paper thin BS argument that people make when they don't know enough about the sport. I can't talk about a good jab. I can't talk about somebody's resume in detail. I can't talk about why this fighter should beat that fighter. I'm going to talk about what I know. What do you know? That I'm black, that I'm Mexican, that I'm Filipino. You're racist. What? I got to talk about what I know. I don't know enough about the damn sport, so I got to talk about everything else. Victory has defeated you. Oh, yes. Why would you shoot a man before throwing him from the plane? Now they're going to say Biz promoting black on black violence. Ha! I'm just saying here, no matter what race or creed you are, all around the world, you can fight, baby. Brian Castano versus Jamel Charlo wasn't about color at all. It was two men sweating it out, having a hard time, swinging hard punches at each other, getting wobbled and shit. It was blood, sweat, and tears. I'm just grabbing those fake, weak, toilet paper thin, soft narratives, and I'm punting them right out this damn war room. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And that's the black two sugars. Biz, why is Canelo ducking Plant? Why is Plant ducking Canelo? Right? So it all depends on who you're into or who you're hating. And that's not this channel. Right? Canelo had his demands. Plant said, forget that. You're going to say whoever's ducking based on who you're hating or who you like. I like the PBC. I hate Canelo Alvarez. I like Plant. Or I just hate Canelo so much that I'm on Plant. Or I really like Canelo. Plant's ducking. It's about you. It's not about what actually happened. Like I said, I think objectively, right? You're thinking about you. People would like to do that. Now, all I'm saying is this. When it comes to Canelo versus Bivol, and I think Bivol is a harder fight, okay? I'd rather that fight than Caleb Plant. I think Bivol is a harder fight. Resume alone, Bivol's resume is destroying Caleb Plant's, okay? And Canelo is a little guy going up to 175. If he goes up to 175, that's a harder thing to do for Bivol, against Bivol, who campaigns at 175 and a champion with a better resume and great boxing skills. You know, it's funny. I saw a comment where someone was like, oh, Bivol, this Russian is going to be robotic. And Canelo, he doesn't like people who move. That just lets you know how much people don't even watch the damn sport, thinking that Bivol isn't a mover. Bivol has great feet. He's a boxer. He moves around all the time. They don't even watch Bivol. They have no idea what's going on. That's why this community is here. ShowBizz, double down on boxing television, my man. So look. Sully, Bivol telegraphed his punches. And well, he's kicking ass and he's a champion. So whatever he's doing pretty good. Canelo's gonna read Bivol like a book. Sounds like a private hair. Now let's talk about this. Let's move on a little bit. Errol the True Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. And I opened up this podcast talking about that. This is August. This is the month, the biggest fight of the year. Okay. I have to discuss. Let me get my black two shakers. I have to discuss, now that I'm not as pissed off about that sparring. You guys saw that video? I was pissed off. I was pissed off because many of you DM'd me all night. My wife woke up. Hey, can you turn off your phone? It's because the lights kept blinking. The light kept blinking on my phone. In the bank. Thank you so much. I had to turn my phone down, and then I turned it off. And then I wake up at 4 something in the morning. I look at my phone, and it's just everywhere. Errol Spence gets crushed in sparring. I start to think, is this like an Oliver McCall, Mike Tyson situation when Mike Tyson was preparing for Buster Douglas getting dropped? Is this those legacy moments, those stories where you hear that Errol Spence sent Adrian Broner to the hospital? They got it on video. And I've been hearing it for a couple of days, but it really went crazy that night. And for me to get up early, have my coffee, and watch a normal sparring session, let me explain something. Let me explain something to y'all. Who don't really know how boxing works, okay? Fighters get up early in the morning, and then they go for a run, and they have a whole workout regimen, maybe 2 a days. They have a whole regimen, and they spar at the end. They spar at the end so they can be prepared for deep waters. And they don't just spar one guy. Many times they've sparred 3 guys. Many times they've had 20 rounds of sparring before going on. Brian Norman Jr. told you himself, I sparred 30 rounds with Gervonta Tank Davis. That one session was 30 rounds. And then at the end, we turned the time off and we boxed until the other one dropped. You're going to box until someone say they're done. After 30 rounds. That's how you prepare for a 12-round championship fight. And many times, they want that fighter to be bone tired and start. Because I want you to get used to digging. Because against Manny Pacquiao, you're going to have to dig. There's going to be moments where you're going to have to be great. Not just prepared. You got to be over-prepared. You got to be great. Manny Pacquiao's great. He's going to put you in a situation that you've never been in before. So I'm going to have you bone tired, very just exhausted, and take on a fresh leg southpaw who's a little guy throwing fast hands. That's called good work. And during that moment, Errol, what are you going to do? And what Errol was working on was walking that little guy down, catching him, and getting rough with him. Because he already know I can box. Every sparring session is not a simulation of just the fight, of you just fighting, and you stand within your bag. It's opening new things for the fighter that you're fighting. Somebody told me Floyd Mayweather never watched tape. His trainers did, though. Roger Mayweather did. And they put Floyd in situations for that opponent. Know know thy opponent, or what? Know thy enemy. Art of war. Right there was just the basics. And people lost their minds. Ignorance is something else. ShowBizz, when Roger said most people don't know, yeah, about boxing. He meant it very literally, and I really began to understand that recently. 100%. Dude was actually a big guy. LOL. Whatever. That's a lie. What's a lie? Somebody, y'all going back and forth. T.O.'s dad said that. Y'all going back and forth. They're ignorant biz. 100%. Capturing greatness within thyself. ShowBizz, the most neutral tuber out there. Salute. Much love to you. Great thumbnail, by the way. Thank you for educating the layman on what sparring is. Unfortunately, those laymen make up the majority of your fan base. Not my fan base of boxing. Boxing is a very difficult. I've said this many times. Boxing is a very difficult thing to be great at understanding. You got people who watch boxing forever and still don't get it. Hit the Tyson bell. Mike Tyson's the best fighter of all time. Mike Tyson the greatest. He's at least top 5. They just don't. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter to ever live. Really? He's 50-0. Manny Pacquiao can't be greater than Floyd because Floyd beat him. That's one that kills me. Really? Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. You clickbaited that video though. Can't deny that. I clickbaited that video. How? In what way? What I said was I had a meltdown over the whole Spence got crushed in sparring. That's exactly what happened. Everybody saying Spence got crushed in sparring, and ShowBizz had a meltdown over Spence got crushed in sparring. I showed the video where Spence got crushed in sparring, and then I had a meltdown over it. People don't know what clickbait is. What you do is you read it how you read it. You have your own emotions, and then you blame it on me. Watch the content. Let me see. Thank you so much. Hit the Tyson bell. 51-0. 51-0. Torres, American Olympian, super heavyweight, looks good. Oh, yeah, oh, yes, he does. Bro, please shine a light on Saad Muhammad. Oh, we can do that. Let's see what else we got. Built different, a bum. He can't read. Just can't, bro. They have no arguments that make sense. So look, I'm going to say this. Facts are in the bank. Hit the Tyson bell. I'm going to say this. Hold on. That boy, Duke Reagan, is going crazy in Tokyo. Oh, yeah. I'm missing that too. Jared Anderson versus Juggernaut. I'm gonna say this about Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the Truth Spence. I am beginning now looking at Manny Pacquiao. It's so funny how great Manny Pacquiao is. Looking at his training videos. Errol can't outbox him, bro. He can't. Errol, he can't. I'm gonna say he can't, bro. And I know can't is terrible to say, but he can't. What? He can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. Why not? I'm gonna tell you this. Floyd barely could. No, let's go to war room. Errol Spence ain't no boxer like Floyd. He ain't on Floyd's level. Not boxing wise. I agree with you, Biz. Bro. Floyd barely could. How you see the light? No. Errol's going to kick his ass. You ain't hearing me. He can't outbox him. And he was injured. Look. Biz, who you putting money on? Spence? Yeah, I'm putting money on Spence. Let me tell you this. Floyd, when you look at that fight, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. When you look at Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao, that fight was far tougher for Floyd than it was for Manny. That fight was far tougher for Floyd than it was for Manny. Floyd got wobbled that fight, not Manny. Floyd had to be perfect to gotcha and get the hell out of there. He had to be perfect in trying to outbox that guy. No war room without me. The hate for Errol is real. Biz, am trying to save you from losing money. Why don't you just win your money? Don't worry about mine. Win your own. Put money on busr.com/showbiz. Place a bet on your favorite fights. You win money. Me, don't worry about me. I don't want you to save me. I want you to win your money. Word is bond. You got to go to the war room with Pack Facts. It's true. It's true. Yeah, no, Floyd. How old was Manny? Floyd's like only 2 years older than Manny, bro. And Manny had a hurt shoulder. And Floyd had some kind of IV in his arm. So let's stop that. Let's stop that right now. Floyd. It was hard for Floyd to outbox Manny. Errol Spence ain't going to outbox him, bro. I'm looking at the training footage. Manny is still, he got crazy lateral movement, still crazy speed. But here's the thing. Manny is so much better here than Errol Spence. It's incredible. He can't help but to be better here than Errol. He's been in the game for years. It made him an animal. There's rules to this. I wrote legal manual, step-by-step booklet for you to get. Listen, his experience in these type of wars, championship fights, going up against it, he is better here. And he's showing the type of movement that makes me say, if Errol gives him any space and try to box him, he's going to lose. Errol got to take his legs away. Errol got to take his body away. He got to break down that old body. He got to punch him in his shoulders. He got to punch him in his neck, punch him in his forehead, punch him in his hips. He got to hit him everywhere. He has to hit him everywhere. He has to come in 158 pounds. He got to rehydrate to 158, 160 pounds and hit him everywhere. He got to do what Jake LaMotta did to Sugar Ray Robinson their first fight. He got to come in 13 pounds heavier and hit him everywhere and push that little man around. He got to Jeff Horn him by being Errol, making it a bad, long, tough night for Manny. He got to make Manny want to be president more than anything in the world. Got to be violent. Last thing, Jared Anderson, the future of heavyweight division. Yeah, that's what they're saying. He rehydrated 165 the last fight. He got to do something like that. I didn't know that, but he got to do something like that. He got to jab his way in. I'm sorry, here's a southpaw. He got to jab his way in, keep his guard up, let Manny do whatever, and then pull a joint, be the best. Watch George Foreman from here to August. He got to do something very similar to what he was doing in that sparring session, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Oh, yes. He got to get punched in the face. He got to take those quick punches, those weird, awkward punches to get to where he wants to be. This is why I said boxing isn't always hitting and not getting hit. Huh? Let's say that again. Sweet science. Let's say that again. Boxing isn't always hitting and not getting hit. Because if you try to do that with Manny, it ain't going to work. Not if you're Errol. If you're Floyd, maybe. Errol, no. He doesn't have the reflexes that Floyd got. He doesn't have the reflexes to not get hit. He's going to have to absorb some punches. You are by far the best channel out there. Thank you so much. And that's the Black Two Sugars. You always speak facts. Thank you so much, Dustin. AB is crafty and hard to knock out. AB pulled that crafty shit and never had the opportunity to boxing. He kept his hands in the holsters. He kept his guns in the holsters. Manny, bip, 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 bip. He's a bumblebee. You swing, he's not, but he'll knock your ass out, and you're getting hit with sharp, stingy punches. So now you're really blocking. Errol got to walk his ass down and absorb some of those punches and make Manny Pacquiao fight more than he wants to. You can't let Manny dictate and box. He got to make Manny fight way more than he wants to. When Manny was fighting Floyd, Floyd was fighting more than he wanted to. He was getting the hell out of there. Manny, yo, I'm fighting way more than I want to. Manny got to try to punch him off of him. And as the rounds goes on, here comes Errol. Hip shot, boom, shoulder shot, jab, right hand, boom, snuck in, boom, bam, rip a few, forearm in the neck, push him back, bam, hit him on the escape. Like, he got to be wrecking his ass. I mean, well, pause. You are the best because you are unbiased. All the other channels have an agenda. Yeah, they don't think, well, I'm not going to talk about other channels. But you got to think objectively. Somebody said Manny was putting hands all over him. Hold on. You trying to pass your opinion as facts now. Are you talking about me? Because I know you guys go at it in the war room, and I don't want to be jumping down your throat and you're not talking about me. Spence will win, but will get touched up for sure. Eric Johnson, he has to get touched up. He must. It's the only way he wins. His face going to look like he stuck his face in a hornet's nest. If his face doesn't look like he put his face in a hornet's nest, he ain't winning. He got to have bumps, cuts, and bruises. He got to cut me, Mick. That's the only way he wins. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. He can't pop. That ain't working. If you take away the knockdown in the Spence Porter fight, does Porter win by split decision? Oops, he wins by majority decision. Right? He maybe unanimous. Like, you know what I mean? It was split after the knockdown. If there's no knockdown, Porter won that fight. That's the Black Two Sugars. If he dies, he dies. That's how he got it. There you go, Jay Cooley. You know, I'm gonna say something about Jay Cooley real quick. Let's say this about Jay Cooley. Hold on real quick. Errol jab will give him the body shots. Yep. The jab got to be stiff. Not the hip shot. Listen up, kids. This man knows something. I swear. You can't have Manny using those calves. you gotta have him walking like this here. You got to take that away. Hips. Hit the hips. Target the hips, please. That little soft spot on the belt line, right on the front, under the belly button. Boom. You know, a little squirt of piss. Psst, you got to hit him with that. I'm going to say something about Jay Cooley real quick. Jay Cooley, you know, you are the only troll I've ever known with integrity. This guy not only pays for his trolling, but there's something else. He'll say something way left that I hate, but it's based on truth. Hey, have you noticed? Like, Jay Cooley would say something so bogus and so trolling, but it got a little. It has a little, like, that was, I know where he got it from and wasn't bad. So that's basically what I'm saying with Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. He has to fight him in deep waters. He has to drag this fight out. He's not going to beat him quickly. All right. Valid points, Biz. Spence is not Floyd. In my opinion, I think Spence is in trouble early in this fight. He is in trouble. Early in the fight, he is. This fight is going to be in halves. Pacquiao's going to take the first half. If Errol Spence takes the first half, that's it. If by the 6th round it's 4-2 Spence, a tear's gonna fall down my eyes, and that's the black two sugars. My bottom lip gonna be quivering. If Errol is up, do you know what that fight has to look like for Errol to be up? Unbox. Flex on him. Errol Spence Jr. has to do to Manny what Canelo did to Smith and Billy Joe, target specific parts in the body to tell their and weapon to take their tactics and weapons away. Yep, target those hips, man. 100%. Elbows, right? While Manny Pacquiao on the ropes started to cover up, and bam, boom, boom. I hit the guard, bam, and then boom, boom, bam. And I'm talking, when I do this, I'm talking about, they got the guard up and you just push him back. Bam. Bam. I mean, he got to come like that. Pause. Spence going to do him like Kell Brook, tough early, and then, hit the Tyson bell. Most of that fight is going to look like round 7 to 10 against Thurman. See, if that's the case, then that's messed. I'm telling you, I'm crying. If it's at all close, Spence takes. Yeah. At that point, I'm tearing up. I'm thinking the first 3 rounds, Manny's gonna be dancing. Okay, so look, I'm thinking the first 3 rounds, Manny is feeling he's in his bag. He's heading to the corner, like, bruh, whoa, this is why I fought. Pop, pop, pop. I'm feeling Manny's gonna be like that, and Errol is going to have strange confidence. Right? I think because Errol's different than Jamel. I figured that out. But Jamel has said that himself. Not to diss Jamel. Jamel's an animal. Errol must be some other kind of animal. Okay? For Jamel to talk about him as highly as he does. When Derrick James is talking to Errol Spence is going to have a weird confidence. Manny's going to be whooping his ass. But Errol Spence is going to have a weird confidence. He's going to be looking at Derrick and he's going to be like, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. Because I'm in there. I'm going to keep roughing this guy up. Then all of a sudden, right? Hagler, Leonard, right? Remember how Leonard was whooping Hagler's ass that first couple rounds? Leonard was whooping Hagler. He was having a ball. And then all of a sudden, Leonard was hurt against the ropes and Hagler, you know what I'm saying? Was coming on. I still think Hagler won that fight. If Errol takes first half, Pac retire after the fight. If Errol takes the first half, I'm telling you, my eyes going to be glassy and I'm going to be calling the fight. Hey, remember that moment on Rocky IV when Apollo looked back at his wife and he tried to smile with the mouthpiece? And his wife was like, in the crowd? That's going to be me. And Errol hits him with another left. I did all right. That's my hero. Pac's my guy, dog. Pac-Man's my guy, bro. And that's the black two sugars. Yeah, just keep punching Apollo. Now, there's a flip side to that coin. Okay? Flip side to the coin is this. Errol never catches him for a long enough period of time. And Manny Pacquiao finds the second win, turns back the clock, and he's this guy that we all know him to be. Errol has some success, but just like Thurman, not for long enough. And then Then Manny, understanding championship fights, he gave Errol Spence about 4 rounds. He let him do that so he can get his energy and pull out towards the later end of the fight. And then comes 10, 11, 12 or 11 and 12, just 11 and 12. Manny turns it up and steal those rounds. There's a flip side to the coin where we sit back and be like, Manny beat Errol the True. Manny beating Errol the True Spence makes Manny, brother. Anyone who says Manny's the greatest fighter of all time, I'm just be like, yeah. Hagler did win the fight. Yeah, for the community. For me, Manny's experience is the most dangerous weapon. Facts. I think Manny knows the second half of the Thurman fight was not so good. Yeah, but he took that last. See, that's the greatness. That's the greatness. See, the great ones always find a way. Remember Pat Mahomes? Remember how Brady, Mahomes had opportunities just like Brady. The defense was giving them both opportunities. But Brady capitalized, though. Oh, you keep giving me a chance. Don't give old ass Brady a chance. You keep giving him an opportunity. Oh, another 3 and out. You keep giving him a chance. He's going to murder you while you still. No, he's going for the kill. Thurman couldn't finish Manny. What did Manny do? Bam, body shot. Oh, well. No, Manny's different. He built up everything he had from his toe, it bottled in his gut. Oh, bam. Boom, bing, tilt, ding, ding, ding. Got him. The great ones do that. I'll beat Errol and Manny on God. That's not Devin though. But thank you. Real quick. Let's do this real quick. Tank versus Thurman. I keep hearing Slap talking about Tank versus Thurman. It's not going to. I'm not. Hold on, real quick. Pac never been out of a fight. Yep, and can't compete with any fighter in history. Yeah, I think Sugar Ray Robinson beats the hell out of Pac-Man. He beats the hell out of him. There's guys I think would beat Pac-Man. I think he beats the hell out of him. I think Parnell Whitaker. Hey, bro, he gives me. I think Floyd beats Manny. There's guys that beat him. Duran beats Manny. But yeah, he can get with a lot. But I think Sugar Ray Robinson beats the hell out of him, though. I am sick of hearing people say boxing is dying with Pac trying to be the GOAT. Yeah, boxing isn't dying. Let me see. Thank you so much. Boxing is kind of going up. It's great right now. Boxing is great right now. Just people are so used to complaining. They're so used to losing. They don't know when they're winning. So now everybody's, no, we're having great fights. We're winning right now. Like, brother, there's some great stuff going on. Some of the greatest fights Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez was amazing. Lomachenko versus Nakata. Oh, Lomachenko taking on Comey. I know what Lomachenko won. We got to talk about that. Let's go over a little bit. But yeah, Nonito Donaire versus Inoue, Zepeda versus Baranchik was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my entire life. And I will keep saying that. Okay. We have great stuff going on, right? Great matchups going on. Like I said, Loma and Teofimo Lopez, great matchups going on. Tank could be an all-timer. And we're watching that right now. Tank can be an all-timer. Hopefully Manny don't look like Drew Brees. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite team, boy. Favorite quarterback. Oh, flex on him. 1, flex. 2, flex. Hey Biz, can I get a happy birthday to my boy Jose? He's a big fan. Happy birthday, Jose, from ShowBizz the Adult and the ShowBizz the Adult community. Hit the Tyson bell. Jose, happy birthday, boy. Happy birthday, boy. Real quick. Keith one time Thurman. Okay, so Tank Davis called out Keith one time Thurman. The end. Let's move on. Brother, I'm not. I'm about done with make believe. Look, I'm telling you how disenchanted I'm getting with, and half of it is my fault. How hard I went for AJ and Tyson Fury. Half of it is my fault. So I've disappointed myself. Okay. So with that said, give me the date, and then we'll talk about fights that's being made. Let's see what we gotta say. Give Ray Robinson a private chef, a private gym, today's healthcare technology, endless film study on any opponent, and tell me he only has to fight every 9 months. He never would have lost a fight. Facts. He never would have lost a fight, but I'll tell you this, he wouldn't have been as good of a fighter. He wouldn't have been as good of a fighter. Fighters back then were better based on the foods that they were eating, based on how often they were fighting, based on just your daily life. Okay, the stuff you got to do just to, I don't know, wash your clothes, start your car, travel, whatever you want to, just clean a house, whatever. Everything was just more manual. Okay, he was working on those little things. Most of your muscle fibers are built when you're a kid. When you become an adult, you don't create new muscle fibers. So even as a kid, what he had to do, what he had to grab, a lot of things weren't ergonomically correct. All these things building those muscle fibers, making you a crazy athlete. We've gotten worse physically. Sugar Ray Robinson is the peak best fighter, pound for pound, the best fighter you can have. This guy was completely amazing. Okay, completely amazing, and he was at the right time. He would have been undefeated, yeah. But how long he was undefeated back then and what he was doing is even more impressive. Even more impressive. Let's see. Thurman needs to fight Boots or Ortiz. Well, that's what Thurman gets. I don't feel sorry for Thurman at all. I got mad love for him. Manny went up in weight classes to avoid fighting me. Hashtag the dream. Good one. Yeah, Keith one time Thurman. I mean, now Thurman, this is it, right, Keith? Right, Keith? This is it, Keith. Right? When Errol Spence was the IBF champion, or before he was IBF champion, you told him to get a belt first. What belt you got? This is it. What have you done in the last couple years other than lose to Manny Pacquiao? Get rocked by Josecito Lopez? This is the moment. See, when you get on your Floyd level, your Keith one time Thurman sitting on a throne level, and you look at everybody else and you say what they're not doing, right? And you say boxing is a business. Now you're hungry. Guess what? Boxing's a business. This is it. Now you got to climb your way back, and you ain't willing to. Fight Boots. We don't know if you're a gatekeeper or not. Fight Ortiz. That's it. It's sad. But that's it. That's it. See, Thurman didn't do what Wilfred Benitez did. See, Wilfred Benitez lost his title to Sugar Ray Leonard. And many people don't realize, many people who don't know boxing don't realize Wilfred Benitez was only in his 20s, and he kept on. And he was taking on Tommy Hearns and taking on Duran. He was still relevant and whooping ass and getting opportunities and climbing his way up back to try to take on those guys, to get his belt back. Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao. He got one belt was stripped from him. The other one was snatched from him by Manny Pacquiao. He's been sitting around. Before that, he was barely fighting. It's you know, ruthless, but that's it. Flex on him. Flex. See? Made him super happy. Thank you, Biz, and the community Unbox Collector, man. Much love to you. You made him super happy. So thank you so much. And you're making me happy. Thanks for the super chat. I love the underdog story. I'm riding with Keith. Okay, Danny. But he was just the guy who was holier than thou. This is a different story. This is a story of, yeah, that's what you get, right? So if Errol to choose Spence gets his ass whipped against Manny Pacquiao, lose his titles, and maybe Keith Thurman beats Ugas and become a title holder, and then Errol Spence want to fight Thurman all of a sudden, you can see how Thurman will be like, get out of here. That's kind of what happened. You got to treat people how you want to be treated, right? Floyd Mayweather mistreated Thurman. Thurman was the #1 welterweight, and Floyd Mayweather was like, get your ass out of here. So then Thurman did that to Spence. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Sully, just wanted to say thank you for all of the awesome content lately. 100,000 subs in no time. Have everybody been liking? Please hit the like button and please subscribe. Have you subscribed? Please subscribe. Keith ain't the same since he married that baddie, bro. Yeah, his wife is beautiful. But he ain't been the same since like Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia hit that man on the elbow, something vicious, bro. I don't know the car accident or whatever happened with his neck, but then Danny hit that guy in the elbow, something crucial. I mean, even Keith Thurman's like, that's the hardest punch I've ever faced, right? He had him in the arm with something. So let's talk about Lomachenko versus Comey. I was going to talk about that separately, but let's do this right now, real fast. I'm about to go. Lomachenko taking on Comey is another reason why I love that guy as a fighter. Lomachenko is something else. He is something else. Always been a fan of Lomachenko. He's always taken on the best guys, right? He don't have a lot of fights, but he's different than everybody else. A lot of people got a lot of fights, but then you look at who they fought, right? I love Devin the Dream Haney. He got more fights than Tank or something. Like Devin got a lot of fights. Look at his resume. Look at his record. But then it's like, he hasn't fought anybody until Linares. That's his first fight. You know how Teddy Atlas say Tyson was 0-5 or whatever? Yeah, Devin Haney has 20-something fights, but, you know, really, Linares is like his first. When you look at Lomachenko, that's what he does. How he whooped Nakatani and going after Richie Comey, that's personal. He's taking it personally when it comes to Teofimo Lopez. He's trying to dominate Teofimo Lopez's best wins. Right? You can't dominate Richie Comey more than Teofimo Lopez did. That's the Black Two Sugars. But what I'm saying is he's going after Teo. And he's going, whatever your best thing was, I'm going to take that from you. I knocked out Nakatani. You couldn't. I beat the hell out of him. Then, hey, they say I didn't fight Richie Comey. I'm going to fight him too. If Loma doesn't get Teo, then Loma should go and fight Devin Haney. Like, I think Loma is on a mission, and we win as boxing fans. We win seeing that guy go on that mission. We win. We do. I know if you just hating, you don't win. But if you love fights, we win. Loma versus Comey, Loma versus Nakatani. After that, Devin the Dream Haney versus Loma, something like that. But a lot of people don't give credit to fighters until they fight the one fight that they've been personally hanging on to. So it's just like Canelo fighting Bivol. Oh, he hasn't fought Andre yet, so it's nobody. He's fighting nobody. So fighting Bivol is, no, it doesn't matter because he hasn't fought Andre yet. So you have people that's like Lomachenko, he ain't fought Devin Haney yet, so he's still running. Well, fighting Nakatani, that's great. Fighting Richie Comey, that's great. Has Devin Haney fought any of those guys? No. But I want him to fight Devin Haney, so he's still running. Right? You fill yourself up with that so much, you just become a hater and you don't get a chance to appreciate the sport. I'm going to go out by saying this. Okay? I hurt my knee the other day. I ain't going to the gym. I hurt my knee in a weird way. I was just on a bike and I heard it pop and I'm like, what? I kind of sprained my knee or something. So every time I try to bend it. But anyway, my mom is now about to talk to my middle brother, ShowBizz brother. Like, hey, should he go get MRI? Mom, don't worry. but listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm happy to be objective, and I'm happy to be a fan of the sport, and I'm trying to push that energy out to the war room because people who hated Floyd missed the opportunity to appreciate Manny Pacquiao's career. I didn't. I got to see a fabulous career without hating it, enjoying it. People who love Manny hate Floyd so much they had they missed a great, wonderful career from Floyd Mayweather. If you weren't hating so much, you would have appreciated such beauty in the ring, poetry in motion, great brains, great reflexes. The guy, Floyd, was wonderful. I said it. In the ring, Floyd was wonderful. You ain't seen anything like that ever. How Floyd fought, you never seen anything like that. You could call it running, call it whatever. But if you can appreciate the sweet science, what you were looking at was something spectacular. You're so busy hating. Same thing going on with Canelo. Canelo is spectacular and phenomenal to watch. Lomachenko, phenomenal to watch. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Biz, your thoughts on why a 20-0 boxer can be unknown and hated, but a 12-3 MMA fighter can be known and loved? There's many reasons why. But I'm just saying, before I get to that question, I'm just saying, don't hate so much that you miss out, you lose. Because that's what's going to ultimately happen. That has a lot to do with the way UFC is structured. You pretty much know that Usman is the champion because he fought the best guys. Boxing isn't like that, right? The fan is smart enough to know this. It ain't your record, it's who you fought. With boxing, though, the boxing fan doesn't trust the opponents. Either you're the fighter they know, or you're nobody. I don't know Bivol. Canelo's cherry picking again. You see what I'm saying? So that's what goes on. I don't know his resume. He beat Joe Smith. Well, who's Joe Smith? He beat Pascal. Who is that? I don't know. So it's nobody. It got to be Jamal Charlo. Why? Because I know him. Who did Jamal Charlo beat? I don't even know. I just listen to other people and they keep bringing them up. Right? With UFC, if you don't know the opponent, you trust the UFC. That the opponent is the best guy. Hit the Tyson bell. We got to have more faith in the product in boxing. Why that goes on with boxing and that goes on in MMA, the trust in the product. Right? That's all. Let's see. Did you watch the Sanhagen versus 2 fight? Who think won? Also, how do you feel about pros fighting in the Olympics? The WBC said they will be banned for competition for the belt for at least 2 years. I mean, I like how it is. I like seeing the new guys and I mean, there are some pro fighters in there, but you talking about like superstars like Errol Spence going into Olympics? I'm not into that. I like seeing the new guys and they get like they win the gold and then they get this huge thing, right? With a promoter and all those things. I like that actually. I like seeing guys I haven't seen or I don't know like that. Represent the nation. Boxing needs one governing body, like all major sports. Yeah, but we'll see. There's not really 50-50 anymore. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Facts. On facts. Thank you so much. BK, what's going on with you? Floyd could replicate George Avetti. Everybody go to busr.com/showbiz. Place a bet on your favorite fights. Make sure you do that once you leave here. Yes, boxing absolutely need one governing body. I agree with Frankie Baines. Let me see. Otherwise, boxing will always be on the outside looking in. What do you say? Yeah, absolutely. Biz, a duck. Watch when time to fight me on ESPN. Nobody listening to it. Y'all just talking. Nobody listening to y'all. That's the Black Two Sugars. What else we got? Thank God I held on because here come more super chats. Boxing has 20,000 fighters to match make. UFC got 7,000. That's why everyone fights each other. If UFC had 20,000 to match make, they'll do the same. Cherry. Wrong. If they had that many, guys on the same level will fight each other more. You would know guys would be. You wouldn't have the great guy fighting nobodies. They still have a ranking system no matter what. They will still have the ingredients, the structure. Number 1 got to fight 2. 2 got to fight 3. 20 got to fight 21. Like if it's 20,000, 19,999 got to fight the 20,000. Right? Let me see. Mike Tyson was supposed to fight me in an exhibition, but he ducked and fought an old Roy Jones. Shake my head. Hey man, thanks for just free money, bro. Sanhagen versus TJ Dillashaw, man. Oh yeah, robbery. That's okay though. Robbery. But see, I don't know how to judge UFC fights the way I know how to judge boxing. Okay, but what I watched, am I the only one who likes multiple belts? Is kind of like collecting Infinity Stones to reign as the undisputable king. I like one belt. I like one belt because a lot of times, let me ask you this. Was Callum Smith really better than David Benavidez? A lot of times, the guy with the belt, with one of the belts, isn't the best one. Who's ranked number one in the IBF isn't the number one ranked fighter in the world. The guy who's ranked. So when you have these mandatories, and I get mandatories, but when you have them, us as fans, we have to look past that date now. Oh my God, this is mandatory. It's Canelo versus Yildirim. It's WBC mandatory. He has to fight that fight. It's like, oh my goodness. All right, I guess we got to watch it, but I can't wait for the next fight. Thank goodness Canelo wanted to fight 5 times this year, or else we would have had to wait, right? He only fighting twice this year. One of them was mandatory. That's ridiculous, right? I understand the Infinity Stones concept, but the way the sanctioning bodies treat their belt aren't all the same. So you're dealing with, I'd rather one belt. All right, so you guys, did you guys enjoy the show today? That's the Black Two Sugars. One ring, one rule. That's the Black Two Sugars. Thank you guys for showing up. Let's see. Frankie Beans, UFC is flawed, but at least you know who the true champ is. Yeah, everything's flawed though, Frankie. Nothing's perfect. Thank you so much, Sully. ShowBizz the Adult. Tomorrow should be another ShowBizz the Morning podcast. And if you guys want to come up with a ShowBizz the Morning podcast logo, and whoever has the best one, that could be the logo. All right. Send it to DM me on ShowBizz _the _adult. Also, I'm looking for the Manny Pacquiao today. Manny Pacquiao autographed trunks, at least gloves, to give away for the August 21st fight. Make sure you guys be subscribe. Make sure you share, do whatever. I will be announcing soon what I will be giving away for the Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the True Spence fight. And it's going to be a Manny Pacquiao thing, not an Errol the True Spence thing, because this could be Manny Pacquiao's last fight or whatever. He's trying to do something even greater than what Errol Spence is doing. UFC is a promotion with a broadcast and self-governs. Eddie Hearn is trying to exactly that, but will be after Aaron Warren and Heyman retire. I'm happy you said retire. King Kong have nothing on me. I'm out. My man.